عدت إلى الماء لأنك ظننت أنني مت.
تركت هاتفي هناك.
إذا كان معك هاتف طوال الوقت. نعم، أعلم. هذا يسبب مشاكل منطقية غريبة للفيلم.
Some actors can deliver a monologue without blinking. Jack Holloway is not one of those actors. Not when the scene calls for a straight face, and definitely not when a co-star decides to go off script. Over the last 15 years, Holloway has built a reputation as one of the hardest actors in the business to keep composed, and today we're diving into the moments that proved it, one broken take at a time. We start on the set of the disaster comedy, Titanic Sinking Fund, where Holloway's character was supposed to deliver a heartfelt goodbye to his on-screen partner as their lifeboat drifted away. The scene called for tears. What it got instead was Holloway trying to maintain a solemn expression, while his co-star, veteran actress Delia Marsh, mouthed increasingly absurd words behind the director's back. "Just say the line," the director called out. Holloway opened his mouth, looked at Delia, and immediately folded in half laughing. "She's doing the thing with her eyebrows again," he wheezed. "I can't. I physically cannot." 3 takes later, the crew gave up on the emotional beat entirely, and just filmed the blooper for the DVD extras instead. Then there's the now legendary shark attack sequence from Reef Break, a scene that required Holloway to scream in terror as a mechanical shark prop lunged toward him. Except the prop's hydraulics jammed on the first take, causing the shark to slowly, almost gently, bonk him on the shoulder like a curious dog. Holloway's scream of terror turned into a genuine, undignified giggle. "It just wants to be friends," he told the crew, patting the fake shark's snout. "Say hi to the nice shark, everybody." The special effects supervisor had to walk away for a solid minute before he could fix the rig, because he, too, was laughing too hard to hold a wrench. Holloway's improv instincts are a blessing and a curse for directors. In the courtroom drama Objection Overruled, he was supposed to deliver a single, dramatic line. The defense rests. Instead, take after take, he found new and increasingly ridiculous ways to stall. "The defense would like a sandwich first," he announced on one take, prompting the judge actor to break character and bury his face in his robes. On another, he simply said, "The defense rests its case, and also its feet, because these shoes are terrible," gesturing at the prop loafers he'd complained about since wardrobe fitting. By the 5th take, the entire courtroom set, extras included, was in open hysterics, and the director had to call a 15-minute break just so everyone could breathe. Not every co-star finds Holloway's antics charming in the moment. During the filming of Cul-de-sac Justice, a suburban action comedy, his scene partner Marcus Reel was supposed to deliver an intense monologue about betrayal, while Holloway's character stood silently, listening. Holloway decided silence was optional. Behind Marcus's shoulder, out of camera range for the wide shot, but very much visible in the close-up, Holloway began mouthing increasingly unhinged synonyms for betrayal. Backstabbery, treacherism, sneaky business, until Marcus lost the thread of his own speech entirely and just pointed at him, gasping, "I can't. He's doing a bit. I can't finish this." The take was unusable. The blooper reel gained a new favorite. Stunt scenes are where Holloway seems to have the most fun, mostly because things rarely go according to plan. In Skyline Protocol, his character was meant to rappel dramatically down the side of a building, land, roll, and come up firing a prop weapon. On the first attempt, the harness spun him a full 180 degrees mid-descent, so he landed facing the wrong way entirely, rolled directly into a stack of prop crates, and popped up holding the gun upside down. "Freeze!" he shouted anyway, fully committed, crates still clattering around him. The stunt coordinator later admitted it was, by far, the funniest thing he'd filmed in 20 years on the job, and privately lobbied to keep the take in the movie. It did not make the final cut. It absolutely made the gag real. Then there's the matter of Holloway and animals, a combination that has never once gone smoothly. In Wilderness Retreat, he shared several scenes with a trained llama named Pepper, who was supposed to calmly follow him along a mountain trail. Pepper had other plans, deciding instead that Holloway's jacket pocket contained something worth investigating, repeatedly nosing at it mid-take. "She's going through my pockets," Holloway announced to the crew mid-scene, entirely breaking the fourth wall. "I have never felt so violated by livestock." When the animal trainer finally revealed that Wardrobe had, in fact, left a granola bar wrapper in that pocket, Holloway looked directly into the camera and said, "This is now legally her movie." His comedic timing occasionally backfires in the other direction, catching his co-stars so off guard that they're the ones who break. In the buddy cop parody Badge Number 9, his scene partner Priya Chandra was supposed to deliver a stern warning about following procedure. Holloway's response, completely improvised, was to solemnly hand her an invisible imaginary badge of his own and say, "I hereby deputize you into the fun police. Please enjoy your new lack of a personality." Priya lasted exactly 4 seconds before collapsing into laughter so severe that the boom operator had to lower the microphone to avoid catching the sound of her gasping for air. Musical numbers are, somehow, worse. In the holiday film 12 Days of Chaos, Holloway was required to sing a simple line of a fake carol while walking down a snow-covered studio street. He never once got through it cleanly. On one take, he swapped the lyrics for a description of what he'd eaten for lunch that day, sung with full operatic commitment. On another, he forgot the melody entirely halfway through and simply hummed increasingly confident nonsense syllables until the choir of extras behind him gave up trying to harmonize and just started laughing into their scarves instead. The composer, watching from Video Village, reportedly said, "We are never getting a usable audio track from this man, and I have made peace with it." Dialogue flubs are their own genre entirely with Holloway, especially when a script hands him a mouthful of technical jargon. In the heist thriller Vault Zero, his character was meant to rattle off a complicated plan involving a triple redundant thermal bypass system. Holloway never landed it the same way twice. Triple redundant thermal bypass by passenger system. He tried once, immediately breaking. "That's not a real thing, is it? I just made up a system." Another attempt produced quadruple reluctant thermal system, which he insisted afterward should be the actual title of the sequel. The script supervisor, whose entire job is tracking continuity, simply wrote, "Not applicable, nonsense," in the margins of that page, and moved on. Some of the funniest moments happen when Holloway isn't even trying to be funny, when the scene itself is simply too absurd for him to survive with a straight face. In Cursed Inheritance, a supernatural horror comedy, his character was supposed to react with quiet dread to a haunted portrait slowly turning to look at him. The practical effect, operated by a crew member hidden behind the wall, moved a little too slowly and a little too jerkily, giving the portrait the unmistakable energy of a curious owl rather than a malevolent spirit. Holloway lost it instantly. "It's just judging my outfit," he said, pointing at the prop. "That's not a curse, that's a critic." The visual effects supervisor later joked that they considered leaving the jerky movement in the final cut, purely because the blooper had tested better with the crew than the actual scary version. Group scenes multiply the chaos exponentially, since one broken actor tends to take the whole cast down with him. In the ensemble comedy Reunion Weekend, a scene featuring 6 characters around a dinner table was meant to end with a toast. Holloway, holding his prop wine glass, decided the toast needed embellishing. "To family," he began solemnly, "to friendship, and to whoever left the good silverware in the dishwasher instead of hand-washing it like a normal person. You know who you are. This is a toast against you specifically." By the time he finished, 3 of his 5 scene partners had fully broken character. One had spit water back into her glass, and the director was heard off camera saying, Just let this one go. We'll use it in the bonus features." Even in his most physically demanding scenes, comedy has a way of finding Jack Holloway. During the training montage sequence in the sports drama Second Wind, he was meant to complete a grueling obstacle course with grim determination. Halfway through, his shoe became genuinely, non-fictionally stuck in a mud pit built for the scene, and rather than call cut, he committed fully to narrating his own struggle like a nature documentary. The Holloway, native to this region, has become ensnared. He announced to no one in particular, still trying to free his foot. Scientists believe he will not survive the humiliation. The crew let the take run for almost a full minute simply because nobody could stop laughing long enough to call cut. Perhaps the single most replayed blooper in Holloway's career comes from the finale of Last Call, a low-budget noir throwback where his character was supposed to deliver an icy, understated threat to the film's antagonist. On the first take, he nailed the tone perfectly right up until the final word, which he replaced, apparently by accident, with the name of the craft services truck parked just off set. "You'll regret this," he growled. "Or my name isn't Big Earl's Taco Truck." There was a full 3 seconds of silence before the entire soundstage erupted, including the antagonist actor, who was supposed to look terrified and instead looked like he was about to need medical attention from laughing too hard. Off camera, those who've worked with Holloway describe the same chaotic energy the world sees in these bloopers, just without a director yelling cut. Between takes, he's known for peppering crew members with completely unrelated questions, launching into bits nobody asked for, and treating every dull moment on set as an opportunity for an audience of one. Whether it's a bored grip, a patient script supervisor, or an increasingly exasperated director, somebody on every Holloway set eventually ends up laughing when they're not supposed to. And maybe that's the real through line of every reel like this one. It's never really about the missed line or the malfunctioning prop. It's about watching someone so committed to their craft lose the fight against their own sense of humor, over and over, take after take, and somehow making the mistake